look at their life, do nothing more but to evaluate all the positive lessons that they've learned over those lives, I think they would eventually come to know who their authentic self is. It's not who their dad said. It's probably who their dad and mom told them they shouldn't be.
Right, or what their teachers told them.
Exactly.
That if that's what they're going to do, they're never going to make it.
Right, they told me that. They said, Randy, all you know how to do is talk and drive, and I don't know how you're ever going to, you're never going to be worth anything. And the reality is that's really what I ended up being, as a talker and a driver. So they were wrong. Most people in my life were wrong. They weren't wrong, and I'm not judging them. I'm not saying that they were bad people. I'm just saying they gave me the best they had, and it didn't work for me.
Okay. All right. So, Scholar Suite is going on about something, and I'd like to understand. So let's just see if we can help. It says, my ego hates that this will probably be displayed somewhere, this podcast. Yeah, it will be all over the internet by the time we get done with it and through with it. With me as some person who said this religious comment when I didn't say that, but my spirit knows that it happened for a reason. I don't know what the religious comment was. Was it the fact that you said that I was Jewish? Even though I didn't say it, someone heard what they needed to hear, and I'll find peace in that. Okay. All right. You didn't call me Jewish. Okay, great. No problem. But the thing that I have to say about that comment, so anytime we're upset about anything,
right,
the only place to look is within.
Exactly.
Because we bumped up against something, and what normally people do is they don't look here, they look out there and try to blame somebody or something.
Well, in my newest blog on attitude, I talk about the whole reality is that for some reason we will believe in science when science says that every effect has a cause, but in our everyday occurrences we for some reason look at the cause and we never look at the cause. We just think that the effect is the cause, and it's not. It's almost like doctors. We talked about earlier about doctors and prescriptions and stuff. All they ever attack is the symptom. Our whole society is more focused on the symptom than they are getting to the root of the problem. So, I don't know. Once again, we asked earlier, do I think there's a chance that we're going to live through this? Of course we are. Of course we are. I don't know if you or I may live to see it, but it's got to happen because it's just the way the universe works. I mean, good always prevails. Positive always wins. A star is born and it burns out and creates a black hole and sucks everything in until it builds a new star, and that cycle continues round and round and round. And so, we're never done. All I can tell people is that if you live by a basic set of principles, all being loving, positive principles, people say, I love you, and I say, if you don't love me the way God loves me, which is a state of grace, then call it what you want, but it's not love. And when we start to love each other, just because I know that God loves you as much as he loves me, then all of a sudden I can love the way. And the funny thing is that if 100,000 people loved me, I still wouldn't understand love. I'm only going to understand love when I give it away. It has to go through me for me to understand it.
Correct. Like you have to have the experience of it.
Exactly.
We can't feel other people's love. We can only feel our own.
Perfect.
So everything we're talking about is the concept of the mirror. So anytime we bump up against something, like we don't like it,
right?
We make a judgment,
right? Well, it's because
it's
everything outside of me mirrors what's inside of me. So, but when I first got, like I say, 30 years ago, I saw the world as a dangerous, scary, greedful place. And the world hasn't changed at all really in the last 30 years, but I don't see it that way anymore because I've taken care of all those issues in myself. And now I have hardly no fears left whatsoever.
Yeah, same here. Now I can turn on the television and notice what they're talking about, but I can separate myself from that stuff.
Sure.
And usually I just have it on for a few minutes and then I turn it off because it doesn't do anything for me. I mean, it what it does, if I let it go long enough, you know, I call what you call ego, I call my dragon. And all that's going to happen if I keep it going long enough is I'm going to engage my dragon.
Right. Carl Jung, the great Carl Jung said that he called it a shadow.
Yes. Yes.
It's just the opposite
exactly.
of the opposite of the
Yes.
light. It's a shadow.
Yes. And we have to become pretty good at distinguishing, you know, who we want to hang out with and who we don't.
Right.
Because the people that are negative and most of their life is